velocity calculations. And we haven't practiced this a ton, but I think you'll definitely get the hang of it. Let's read that. As we read, we're going to underline the important information. Sarah runs as fast as she can around the bases. She manages to make it all the way back to home plate, a total of 80 yards. I'm underlining that because that is definitely important. She makes it in 40.9 seconds. What's her velocity? Okay, so we pulled out the important information. Let's match that up with our variables. Do we know velocity? And we don't, right? Because it's asking us what's our velocity. So I'm going to put velocity equals question mark. My change of time. I am given a time, so that is my change of time, and it is 40.9 seconds. Awesome. My initial position. Since we are not told the initial position, we are always going to assume that the initial position was 0. And in this case, we're going to say 0 yards. Final position. She made it 80 yards. That is my final position. Okay. Right, we got 80 yards. What are we trying to find? Well, we don't know velocity, and it asks us what's the velocity, so that's the formula I'm going to go use to find velocity. So we're going to look on our formula board, our formula sheet, and we're going to write it down because we know that velocity equals final position minus initial position all over change of time. Here we go. Let's plug in what we know. We've got a final position of 80. Minus my initial position of 0, all over a change of time of 40.9 seconds. Okay, so here's what you do. 80 minus 0 is 80, of course, divided by 40.9 seconds. And I'm going to plug that into my calculator, and I'm going to see that 80 divided by 40.9 is, she had a velocity of 1.96 yards per second. I'm going to put a box around it so that we absolutely know the answer. Write down your variables, check. Write down your formula, plug your numbers in, and solve. All those steps. Let's try one more. Okay. All right. Wick ran the 400-meter dash in 62.3 seconds. I'm going to underline the variables that are given. What is her velocity? What is her speed? Okay, so let's go ahead and write down our velocity. I don't know the velocity here. That's my question mark. My change in time is given. It is 62.3 seconds. That's pretty good. Hopefully she comes out for the battle track and field team. Right. My initial position is not stated, so I'm always going to assume 0. My final position, how far did she go, is 400 meters. What am I trying to find? I'm trying to find her velocity. So from there, I'm going to go look for the V formula, the velocity formula. I know that the velocity formula is final position minus initial position all over change of time. Let's plug in our numbers now and see what we get. Final position is 400 minus 0 all over my change of time of 62.3 seconds. These are meters. All right. So I'm going to do, I know that 400 minus 0 is 0, so I've got 400 divided by 62.3 seconds. All right, so I've got 400 divided by 62.3, and she is running 6.42 meters per second. Plug in what you know, go to the formula that you need to solve it, and then solve for the final answer. Now you try.